You're welcome, guys, to Traversal ENT. Make sure you do the right thing. Subscribe, like, all of that stuff, right? Listen. A lot has happened, yeah? A lot has happened. Listen. Jake Paul is doing the most, I'll tell you. Jake Paul is doing the most. His antics, my gosh. Now, I'm sure you've all seen the video. Jake Paul, he's calling out for Conor McGregor. That's right. He wants Conor McGregor in the ring in a boxing match with him. Now, guys, let's talk about this, yeah? Let's talk. Now, you've seen the video, you've seen he dissed Conor, he dissed where he's from, the fact that Conor's Irish, he dissed the fact they said that Conor's scared to get in the ring with him, he dissed the fact that Conor picked the wife that he picked, saying that he could do better. My gosh, Jake, just in case you're listening, yeah? And anyone that knows Jake, let him know. Yes, Conor married who he married, but trust me, Conor has access to plenty of girls, maybe even some of yours. But anyway, let's get back to the matter at hand. So he called him out on that, calls out Dana White. I don't know what he didn't call out. But listen, boxers, for those of you boxers who do not know how to hype up a fight and how to trash talk, you could take note from some of that trash talking that he done. Now, mind you, in my opinion, slightly overboard. Definitely hit areas that you really don't need to. But boy, listen, there's no way if I'm Conor McGregor, I'm hearing all of that and I'm just going to let that slide. Not from someone like him. Because you see, Jake Paul, he's got ridiculous amount of followers, right? We're talking someone with, like, I don't even know how many followers Jake Paul's got, but he's in the millions, right? He can't do that and get away with that. Did it end there? No, it did not end there. What does Jake Paul then decide to go and do? Jake Paul decides to, what did he go and do? He went looking for McGregor's guy, Dillian Danis, and basically chucked toilet paper at him, wet toilet paper at him. You know how wet toilet paper gets hard. To provoke Conor a bit more. Now, we know that Dana White, in response, has rejected the fight. He's not interested in doing that, but rather, he tried to throw one in by saying, I'm thinking of feeding him basically to Amanda Nunes, right? Jake Paul's having none of it. He comes back with more, calling out Dana White again a second time, saying that basically he is putting UFC on the map. No one's bringing more attention to UFC than he is currently, because from him sending for, him sending for Conor McGregor, it's got UFC on everyone's lips on social media, and that is true. And he also said that Conor wants to fight someone that hasn't got more followers than Jake Paul's dog. That is also true. All right, so what are we saying about all of that here at Traversal ENT? This is the crunch now, yeah? Jake Paul is a cruiserweight in boxing, guys. Cruiserweight in boxing. You have to understand why he's hollering at Conor. Yes, the paycheck is fat. It's a $50 million pay that he's saying he's prepared to give Conor to get in the ring with him. Jake Paul knows the returns will be triple that, if not more. So the money ain't the problem. It's a fantastic amount. Conor ain't going to make that kind of amount coming back into UFC. Definitely not in his next two fights. Unless he takes on, I don't know, well, he's got to take on Jake Paul to make that kind of money. Let's just be real. That's the truth, right? But here's the thing. Jake Paul is a cruiserweight. Conor McGregor's last fight in boxing, his only fight against Floyd, was at welterweight. Cruiserweight fighting a welterweight is a suicide mission. It is a suicide mission. Even Floyd Mayweather doesn't fight cruiserweights at any point in time in his career. Why would Conor fight a cruiserweight? It's a suicide mission. Jake Paul's not a small guy. He's quite stocky. Conor's much more slimmer and he's a lot smaller than Jake Paul. It's a total mismatch. But here's what I would do if I was Conor McGregor, guys. Real talk. If I'm Conor, I would actually take the fight. I'd take the fight. That's $50 million in a time like now. Listen, it's so unpredictable right now in the fight game. You can't predict your next big fight. A lot of fighters are starving. Fans don't want to see them on the screen. They ain't getting big pay slips or pay checks for the fights they're taking. They're fighting for little scraps, for breadcrumbs right now. I'd take that 50 mil and the back end money that I'm going to get off that fight, 100%. Conor could make anywhere near 75 mil if it goes really well. Anyway, why do I say Conor should take the fight? I would have a stipulation with the fight. A couple of clauses with that contract. this is what I would do. I would say to Jake Paul if I'm Conor, Jake, I take the fight. Me and you can go at it on a boxing ring, no problem. 8, 10 round, no problem. Let's do it. We can fight at a catch weight. That's the thing. You got to fight at a catch weight. Don't fight Jake Paul at his weight. Don't give him that kind of advantage. You need to drain him a little bit. At least that way you're both meeting each other somewhat halfway. So fight at a catch weight. I'd say fight at middleweight or maybe potentially super middleweight, but do not fight him at cruiserweight. So fight at catch weight, but also have in there that have the fight as a part 1 of 2. The first part is the boxing match, you and Jake Paul at a catch weight. Part 2, bring Jake Paul in the octagon. Yes, bring him in the octagon. Guys, I'm telling you, these guys, just together and as a dance partner, can generate, I'll be prepared to say, I'm going to say something crazy. I think altogether they can generate 200 million plus. I really think they can. In terms of total collective income or total money generated from both those fights in the boxing ring as 1 and in the UFC octagon as 2, I think they can generate easily 200 million plus, even at a time like now. That's how crazy the fight game is, guys. And if you lot can't see what I can see, you just ain't visionaries like me. Promoters, jump on it. Dana White, there's no way you can pass up on this opportunity. If I was Dana, I'd write that up right now. I'd tell Jake, I'll give you Conor in the ring, boxing, no problem. Catch weight, fine. You have to be catch weighted though. There has to be some level of rehydration clause there. Because Jake can't come in as he is. He will take Conor McGregor out. Make no mistake, guys. But if you put a rehydration clause in there, fight at catch weight, you give Conor a better chance, not of winning, because Conor ain't going to win that fight, but you give Conor a better chance of ending up in his finishing the fight in his 2 feet and not stretched out on the floor. That's the fact. Jake will win that fight. Yeah? And then you have in there the stipulation that he must face him in the octagon by the close of 2021, right? He must face him by the close of 2021 in the octagon. And that's how they can really make money off this fight. Guys, I like the hype. I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, during this time, this pandemic, there's not a lot of interesting things going on. So when you get something like this, you better grab onto it. And the fact of the matter is this. You see these, what I call celeb fights. They're becoming a thing. You might reject it as much as you want as a boxing fan. I'm a boxing fan, and there's certain celeb fights I just will never, ever watch. But when it's high-profile guys like this and they really want to square up, you can't just turn a blind eye to stuff like that. Because there's money to be made for everyone. Everyone can eat. I can eat off the fact that these two are fighting. So you can't ignore stuff like this, guys. You just can't. You'd be crazy to ignore it. And anyway, that's all I got to say on that. Crazy stuff. Jake Paul at the moment is must-see TV. And remember, guys, Floyd is fighting the less established brother. He's fighting Logan Paul in the boxing ring, right? When really, Floyd should be fighting Jake. That'd be a slightly more competitive fight. I'd put some money in that fight. I actually would. I'm not a betting man, but I would for that fight. So there you go. You got Jake, you got Conor. Imagine this now. You got Floyd, you got Logan. Double header. Pay-per-view. My God. We're talking serious money. Eddie Hearn? I know we shout you out, Eddie, but I know you're a guy who sees things the way I do. Jump on this as much as you can. Eddie, get on this as quick as you can, Mr. Hearn. Get on this, because promoters are going to jump on this one. They're not letting this one slide, guys. Let me know what you lot think on the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get this channel to really grow. Content is there galore, right? Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll catch you in the next video. We got video.